Hi, I'm Chef Isabel. Welcome back to ATP. We're in the test kitchen here. Today I'm going to make a simple, basic spaghetti sauce for you. And if you can't catch the amounts of the ingredients I'm using in the recipe, don't worry. It's on the ATP webpage along with a lot of other great recipes that you can find that are recipes I've used in the past for the tastings, as well as El Centro recipes. So let's get started on this one. So what we're going to start off with is a little bit of olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. Now, let me tell you, I got this recipe from an Italian exchange student. This is what the sauce that her mom makes at home. They don't use 2 tablespoons like we do here. They use a 1/4 cup. So I guess if I'm going to keep to the authenticity and respect her recipe, I'm going to go ahead and use a 1/4 cup of the olive oil. Which is roughly about 2 tablespoons. See that? Looks like a lot, doesn't it? But it's a good flavorful olive oil, so that flavor is going to come out in the sauce itself. So I'm going to slice up 2 cloves of garlic, and if you look at these are giant. So a lot of people will say, well, this is about the same size as 2 cloves of garlic, so I'm just going to use 1. Not me, we're gonna use 2 cloves of garlic, no matter what the size is. So, if you're a garlic lover, more garlic is better, right? And normally I would show you the process from the beginning to the end, but just for time's sake, I don't want to have you here all day. So what I did was I blanched 2 pounds of tomatoes. So I blanched them in hot water, obviously, salted hot water, and I poured the X onto the end, blanched them, let them cool where I could touch them, peeled the skin off, and then I pureed the tomatoes. Actually, let me grab a spatula right quick. Actually, we'll just use tongs for now. And I'm just gonna gently saute this garlic, just lightly. I've got a few pieces that are stuck together, so I'm just separating those. There we go, the oil's getting a little hot. It's already getting pretty aromatic. It's got a nice flavor, and you can certainly use different types of garlic for this. I'm giving you the recipe that I got from the Italian exchange student, but if you want to use black garlic or elephant garlic, by all means, change it up, make it your own. My sister, we went to a cabin out in Broken Bow. We made our own spaghetti sauce, and she made these cute little lasagna roll-ups. And me being a chef, I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, but they were pretty good. So she just did like a lasagna type ricotta filling, and just lined up the lasagna noodle with it, and made these little spirals. And then just layered the spaghetti sauce that I made over it, and they turned out wonderful. It's really nice flavor. Lots of things you can do with this sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this tomato puree in here, and it's gonna jump back at me a little bit. Don't be afraid. And everybody see the oil and the roasted garlic. And you do want to get the garlic a little brown. I should have mentioned that earlier. A lot of recipes I tell you don't overcook the garlic, it'll become bitter, but this is just a quick sauce. It's not going to cook as long as what I would normally tell you in the recipe that you're going to see on the ATP website. So we'll let that warm up a little bit. I've got some herbs here. I've got some basil, some little pieces of basil. I'm going to throw these in here, and I've got these larger pieces with the stems. I'm going to put those in there too. I'm not going to bother taking them off the stem. The stems have lots of flavor. if you want to, sage is a very good flavor enhancer for spaghetti sauce. A lot of people don't relate sage with spaghetti sauce. It's always basil, 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 right? Try it one day with just using sage. It's just a different, it's kind of like making pico de gallo with basil instead of cilantro. You think it's just strange, but it actually has a good flavor. So I'm not going to use it for this particular recipe, but try it. You'll be surprised at how much you like it. And you can certainly triple, quadruple this recipe if you want. Make a large pot of it and just use what you need, and then freeze, portion out the rest and freeze it in some Ziploc bags. This is what I do. I get the gallon size Ziploc bags, and I make a huge pot of this, and I portion it out, fill it out, and then I lay the Ziploc bags on the table, so you flatten them out, put them in the freezer flat. And then, so whenever I need a quick meal, I've already got my spaghetti sauce ready to go. So I just, heat it so it goes from a block of ice to sauce, and it's wonderful. If you have a big family, a freezer is your friend. Believe me, you can save a lot of time making things in bulk and then freezing them for later use. So if I wanted to, I would just cook this up for another 5 minutes. Really get those flavors coming out of the garlic and the basil. I'm gonna add some pink salt. You can certainly use kosher, sea salt, whatever you want. A little bit, it's about a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. And the original recipe actually called for a tablespoon of sugar. Sugar just brings out the sweetness in the tomatoes. It really makes a difference. I didn't have sugar today, so I'm not using it, but the recipe does call for a tablespoon of sugar. So it's gonna be 2 pounds of tomatoes, a couple cloves of garlic, add more if you like, some basil, and 1/4 cup of olive oil, and salt and pepper. The recipe on the ATP page will tell you to cook it for 50 minutes. That's if you want that thick sauce with just deep, intense flavor. But if you're looking for something quick and you're not the type of person who, wants to meddle with all that and take your time, sweet time making this, by all means, just give it at least 5 minutes. You don't want to do less than that. You don't want to make this in a hurry. You want to make it fast, but not in a hurry. So if you can give it 10 minutes, even better. But after 5-10 minutes, you've got a good sauce that's ready to go. And that's it. That's it. Look, it still has this beautiful, bright, red color. If you cook it longer, obviously it's gonna get darker. But that's all there is to it. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you take a look at the webpage and look at all our other recipes, and give us some feedback. All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.